good evening out there, my kind listeners. I want to welcome somebody today that we have not had on as of yet. And he has a background that's pretty extensive as an entertainer. He's going to talk to us today about being a quadruple threat entrepreneur. Sherwin XL is an entertainer, a former National Youth Service trainer from the City Volunteer Corps, former radio show co-host of Back to the Beat on Urban Latino Radio with DJ Rio Lopez, historically the first host of Taste of the Runway Atlanta, and also made history being the first ever stand-up comedian appointed as Master of Ceremonies at Crossing Cultures, Jamaica, and South Africa for BCA Global's 21st year Black Tie Gala. Sherwin XL, quadruple threat, entertainer, and entrepreneur. Welcome to the Millionaire by Morning Show.
Oh man, thank you, brother. There's more, but I ain't trying to make your throat go sore. So let me give you my universal Sherwin XL welcome. So it goes like this: 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and senior citizens of all ages, I am now and forever will be glorious son, the only one, the ordinary, extraordinary, and the greatest boom boom baby of them all, Sherwin XL. And I'm here with my man Rashad, the host of Millionaire by Morning, baby. Ching ching, making that cash. Get the bag. Get the bag, baby. Get the bag.
Get the bag. Get the bag. We are definitely in the bag today, man. Thank you for that live episode. You have your own podcast, am I correct, or show?
I'm starting to where well, just to tell you, I started this with my mentor. He passed on. His name was Harris Haith. He was the author of the book Growing Up Laughing with Eddie Murphy. And I always told him, hey, maybe one day I want to do like the little talk show type thing, like, like Johnny Carson and Arsenio Hall did, So he was like, well, do it one day. So he was supposed to be my first guest, but I didn't get to do that. But as I recently got blessed, I just received the President's Lifetime Achievement Award, which now is called the President's Volunteer Service Award through the White House from a young lady by the name of Dr. Reba and her daughter Egypt. And I just recently nominated a young lady by the name of Desiree Kinney, and she just received hers just last week or so. So, oh yeah, and the Danny Glover from Lethal Weapon, he has an award that I also was given called the Danny Glover Power of a Dream Award. So I just got, I guess recently got that. I'm still bugging out that I got it, but I'm just happy that I was able to nominate her, and there's a couple other people, but Dr. Reba's so busy. I think she has 200 more people before she gets to other folks. But I'm just happy to be on your show, brother. Thank you for the invite. Appreciate it.
Not a problem, man. I like to talk about the entertainment industry. If we could get into that, let's get into your story and how you got into it. Take us back a little bit when Sherwin XL figured out he was not just little Sherwin, but XL was added to
it. Okay. Well, before I even go there, let me just tell you, my name Sherwin is, from my mother, who, she's from the island of Trinidad and Tobago. And the XL I put in because I always wanted to be a great speaker like Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. So I took the X from Malcolm and the L from MLK, and it means like that's the unknown love that I have for the both of them, because I'll never meet them in this lifetime. But that's the unknown love and respect that I have for the both of them. And as I excel, I want to help others do the same. That's what that stands for.
That's what's up. You're on the right show.
Yes, sir. And then I started, to tell you the truth, it had to do with like 3 people in my family. My mother, my cousin Hayden, and then my cousin David. Very instrumental on 3 levels. You see, my mother got me into hip hop. Like the first hip hop artist I ever saw and fell in love with listening to hip hop was Heavy D's Mr. Big Stuff. So on this 50 years of hip hop, I was just really, really, I got enthused by it because my mother, one day she's like, Sherwin, come here. I'm like, what? She's like doing my grandmother's hair, doing the cornrows back in the day. So she's doing like my grandmother's hair. I used to sing that original song to you when you were a baby because you were fat. So it was Mr. Big Stuff. So then I hear Heavy D, like, I'm rough and tough and all that stuff. I make it dance and Prancy, huff and puff. There's just no way you get enough of me. You're Mr. Big Stuff. And he goes into the rest. So I was like, yo, this is dope. And then my cousin Hayden, he was into hip hop. And now that's the hip hop aspect. Now I used to listen to, cartoons, just like how Dave Chappelle said that he watched Bugs Bunny and Mighty Mouse and just all the cartoons you could think of from anywhere between, because we as 70s and 80s babies, we got all that 50s, 60s, or maybe even some of the 40s cartoons. So we were like a little silly growing up. So then we started getting the G.I. Joes, the Transformers, and Thundercats and all that other good stuff, robots and Heathcliff and all that good stuff. So
Yeah.
I was listening to like Red Fox and Richard Pryor growing up. And so I'm over here, I'm in school, like how you would go to school the next day after you saw a movie with you over the weekend with your parents and you see Stir Crazy. And of course you'd be like you be talking like Richard Pryor, that's right, we bad, so and then of course everybody, I think everybody would say you big dummy, like Red Fox from Sanford and Son. So I'm doing that as I was like about maybe 5, somewhere between 5 and 7 doing this. And my mother's got a note from my teacher. I thought I was in trouble. so so she's like, no, the teacher wants you to play a dentist and she wants you to do Tony the Tiger's voice. Saying I'm going to be a dentist, so they got the little black contact paper and did a little gray, the gray thing to here look like a doctor, and gave me the little white coat, and I'm up on the stage, and I have to come to these kids dressed in teeth. It's like just like when you brush your teeth 3 times a day, it'll keep your teeth looking great. So that's what I had to say as a kid. So, because my teacher was like, "Yeah, he's like a little parrot. Every time he comes, it's like I hear him doing little commercials and TV people like comedians on TV." So then the other thing was, so that's the music, and then that's the acting now, and that was my mother and Hayden, my cousin Hayden, because he was a rapper. So I kind of followed, my mother introduction. Then I used to listen to my cousin while he used to write, and then work on his stuff. And then later on down the line, I started, practicing myself, which I did a Hot 97 freestyle, and it got me into a alternative R&B group later on years. And then the other dynamic was that my cousin David gave me a CD of Eddie Murphy's Delirious. So
Oh man.
it was a rap, because you know what I was doing, talking about on Bunny, and like on Bunny, like Gunny Goo Goo, and and like, oh Lord, help Jesus. So I'm doing that like everybody else does, because that was some funny stuff. He's like,
Yeah, it was.
oh, like Lillian, she fell down the stairs. Like, he's like, Gus, your wife is a Bigfoot, Gus. So all that funny stuff. So I got into that, and then from there, down the line, I got into hip hop, started rhyming, and I was in the group for a while, and then off of a bet down the line, because I was working on a solo album, and the guys asked me to be in the group after they heard me on Hot 97 rapping for Grandmaster Cass and the Furious Five, which I'd be amiss if I didn't say thank you to my brother Breeze Everflowing, because he's the one that called me, because I used to freestyle with Breeze Everflowing, Big Tigger, Most Def, uh, who else was there? A brother by the name of Yusufu. So we used to have a good time freestyling, and Chris Styles, who actually did Window Shopper for 50 Cent and Mace.
Okay.
These are guys that I freestyle way back when. My brother, my homeboy Glenn, he used to put on shows for NYU at this place called I think the Ultraviolet. And actually, if you go on YouTube, you can actually see some footage of me rapping on stage with two of my homeboys at the Ultraviolet for the what is it, for Power, with the Lyricist Lounge. So I've been around doing my thing for a minute, and some wonderful things have come up. And like I was just telling you before we started doing this, we have this film coming up, which I'm playing a Don Cornelius type right here, playing Don Orpheus in the film, The Last B-Boy, and I'm just as the journey I've taken, it's helped me to meet wonderful people like with you and what you're doing right now. So once again, I thank you for having me on your show, brother.
Hey man, I'm glad you're here. It's not me being from Texas. We
Hmm.
don't get to speak with people from up north. We don't get to speak and intertwine with people from New York a lot of the times. And as you know, we're all connected through hip hop and rap
Yes,
music.
sir. Yes, sir.
So that's one of my favorite things. Man, that's been my background, even with
Hmm.
marketing. I'm a marketer. I started, jumped off the porch marketing for hip hop and rap
Mm.
music. You know what I mean? That's the first
Yeah.
thing that I ever sold was like a mix CD.
Oh,
So
word? Okay.
yeah,
All
man,
right.
I know where you're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Um, with that
Yeah,
being
because I
said,
used to be shy, bro. I'll tell you, I used to be very shy. Like I've said this a million times, but I used to be uh nuclear holocaust and intergalactically shy. And hip hop made me a monster with it. I have no fear. I just recently uh had some singing lessons, well, vocal lessons more. That was like 2% of me that I was too shy to like try and actually sing, even though I was in an R&B group. I was the hip hop aspect because I was like, at first I didn't want because they wanted me to rhyme, help with the choreography, write, and then also do a little percussion sometimes and do background. I was like, look, man, I'm a rapper. I'm not singing with you guys. I'm a goddamn rapper. so so I'm glad I did do it because it gives me an edge where, like Richard Pryor said in his book, I think it was Pryor's Convictions. He said that there are no rules in hip hop. So you can do what you want to do. In comedy, there's no rules in comedy. So I can utilize hip hop. I can utilize poetry. I can
right.
utilize anything that I want. I can act on stage. I can make up, I can start talking like, if I want to go up on stage and talk like John Witherspoon and be like, yeah, boy, bang, bang, bang. So I can do whatever I want, just as long as I'm entertaining and funny, or I have something sensible that I need to project to the people. And that's
Yeah,
something that John Witherspoon said to me. He was like, listen, and Dick Gregory, he said that anytime I see injustice and I want to talk about it, make it funny, but make it also silly but sensible.
yeah, yeah. It makes a whole lot of sense. People
Hmm.
can pay attention and be entertained at the same time. Especially
Yeah.
with everyone now has a really short attention span. So it's a lot different than it used to be.
You know what's so funny? I think that the media did that on purpose because there is a very sneaky thing that a lot of people do in the media, and that is, and we know for a fact that repetition is a very, very strong thing because that's how we start to memorize things.
Sure.
If you keep on saying the alphabet, you'll know it eventually, whether it's forward or backwards. And I think before there was any short attention span, somebody said it and it just stuck. And then they started to infiltrate and be like, yeah, everybody has a short. I don't have a short attention span. It's like if I want to watch, if everybody had a short attention span on this earth, I don't think we'd be watching movies anymore or television. Because if you really think about it, I think it's the commercials that we want to have short attention spans for. Because
Yeah.
when we're watching a movie or we're watching a series or a reality show, hopefully not a ridiculous reality show, but if we're watching something that we want to be entertained, we don't want to see commercials unless most of the commercials are what food or something for us to buy. So or toys for
Oh yeah.
children. Which I miss Toys R Us. Like I miss Toys R Us, boy.
Oh, did you know it was coming back? Toys R Us are coming back. Yeah,
Thank
I
you
just
for that.
read that the other day.
That's
I just read that.
are you joking with me or that's that serious?
No, that's dead serious. I don't know if it's like for a temporary amount of time because Christmas is rolling around, but it's a certain number of Toys R Us that's about to open back up, the
Well,
physical store.
I will be one of those people if it happens. See, I'm about to Google that right now.
I
Don't
know what you
to
mean,
me
man.
because
Uh, that was a
I
whole
used to love
experience.
I used to love when I the first time I lost my mind when I went to Toys R Us as a kid.
That was
Because
a
when you see toys on TV, you see a certain amount of toys on TV, but when you go to Toys R Us, you see all of them. You're like, I want that and this and that, and it's like
yeah.
your mother and father like, I'm not a money tree. Pick one. You know?
Yeah, you sure right.
Yeah, man. Anyway, I'm talking too much and having too much fun, man. What other questions you got for me, my brother?
I want to
Rashad.
ask you, man. I want to ask you. You've been doing this a long time,
Mhm,
um, and this is part of just something that I do. My program, far as Millionaire by Morning. But one of
mhm.
my caveats is motivation. What has kept you motivated? Because I know that there is, especially in music and comedy and entertainment, there's the
Mhm.
underground, and then there's, um, Chris Rock level of
Yeah,
success,
mainstream. Yeah,
mainstream. So, what has kept you motivated being in between the two? How do you continue to be motivated?
dopamine making me laugh. You just laughter and determination, bro. It's like right before I met my mentor, because like people used to tell me, "Oh, you can't do that, and you can't do this, and you can't. You're like an octopus all over the place." And when I met my mentor, he told me, "Yes, you can do more than one thing, but you just have to schedule what you want to do."
Yeah, yeah,
Because I was like, I'm not. Don't put me in like Bruce Lee. My cousin Hayden got me up on Bruce Lee, and Bruce Lee was always on this, be water, so I can flow wherever I want to go. But as Harris, Haith, my mentor, told me, he said, just schedule what you need to do. So if it's Sunday, I need to rest, then Monday and Tuesday I work on comedy. Yeah, and then Monday, Tuesday I knock that out. Then maybe I take a break Wednesday, or I go into whatever I need to go into Wednesday and Thursday, and then Friday I go out dancing, just or go to a stand-up comedy spot, either to get entertained or to entertain. Because the one thing that I always like to do is, even though I'm an entertainer, before I went from entertainer, I was a spectator that went from entertainer. So sometimes I like to spectate and not to like sit down there and take anything from anybody, but hey, I want to laugh too. you know so if I see somebody who is quote unquote funnier than I am, I'll be like, damn, I gotta up my game. So because I think George Carlin had said that. He said when you see other people in with in what you do, he said you look at them in two ways. You look at them as no threat, or if they're that good, up your game, which is
yeah.
really simple. Which no ego, no jealousy, no envy, just good work. You see good work, then that should inspire you to do good work or better work. That's what they're supposed to. Because I remember George Carlin saying that when he first heard Sam Kinison, he raised his voice. He didn't start yelling like Sam. He said he just raised his voice a bit, where that just told me, hey, if a veteran hears somebody new and gets inspired, that I should do the same thing. you know so and a lot of people, they tend to forget, hey, um as we work, we're supposed to be inspired by each other and inspire one another. And that's what a lot of people are forgetting, no matter whether it's comedy, acting, you know singing, whatever it may be, even as an entrepreneur, whatever you're doing.
That's right. That's right. Can you, Sherwin, speak on, as far as your experience is concerned, the importance of momentum?
Oh yes, the importance of, especially now, um where I can actually look at how we used to do guerrilla marketing for each other, which I know, like you were just saying, that you would sell some hip hop, what was it, CDs back in the day, right?
Mixtapes? Mm-hmm.
The mixtapes or the CDs. Okay, so that's guerrilla marketing when you're on the ground. Nowadays, we can still do that, but we can also do electronic guerrilla marketing, which is what we have on Twitter, Facebook, and especially Instagram, and maybe Snapchat or anything else, where your momentum, as like this movie, The Last B-Boy. The one thing that I have with that is, hey, if I need to talk to one of the actors or the actresses in it, the momentum that I need to get is posting it, talking about it, which I'm doing it right now. You're blessing me with momentum, talking about the movie, as well as me, Sherwin XL, the brand, the business. So this is momentum right here, talking on your show on Millionaire by Morning with your one and only host, Rashad. So it's 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 um it's something that you definitely need to do. and not stop. And if you're a singer, what you do is you put up little snippets of your song, then you put up, and if you ever have a music video, you put in some behind the scenes, and which they abbreviated these days do the BTS, behind the scenes video or behind the scene pics, and then you make a little video of it, and you can send it out, whether you want to put it silent or with some music behind it and say, coming soon. Momentum is to get everybody excited about what you have coming out or what's coming up for you. So with like the last B-Boy, I've been doing stuff for the last B-Boy, talking to some folks. I just became a brand ambassador for my brother, Marvelous Buchanan, who has a clothing line called Cold Blocks. So I just interviewed. I was in the studio, which I just recorded a song with him, and I talked to, what was it, two? Yeah, two sisters and Marvelous Buchanan, which was T, the mixologist, and the young lady by the name of Lady G, the model. So I sat down and talked to them and knocked out two things at once and did a photo shoot for Cold Blocks as well. So that's momentum for me, where I'm wearing, which right here, this chain, this is a Cold Blocks chain right here I'm rocking. So I'm always rocking, representing for Cold Blocks, and we had a great photo shoot, and me just talking about this is momentum for his company, and me mentioning T, the mixologist, and the Lady G, the model. That's momentum for them, just me talking about them. So if anybody wants to, marketing and promotion is a very important thing. And if anything, I know some people say that uh, getting attention online, whether it's negative or positive, doesn't matter. At least they're talking about you. I'd rather you get something positive, because sometimes if you're doing some negative promotion, there are certain places where you will not be able to walk into. Like I've worked with a gentleman, Brigadier General George A. Jones, who, he's passed on, but there's a statue of him out here in Roosevelt, New York, where I live at now, in front of the Roosevelt post office, which every time I see it, it bugs me out, because, like, usually when you see statues of people, you never knew them. But it bugs me out that I actually knew this gentleman, and he gave me a citation for saving a little girl, from two guys in front of Donnie McClurkin's church. So it's like, it's so crazy to know that every time I see the statue, like, damn, I knew the man, I knew the guy, you
Right.
know? And just out here these days, all you have to do is make sure whoever you meet, always look back and say thank you, or say thank you in the moment, you know? That's momentum. That's momentum of gratitude. So anytime you have to do anything, yeah, look, I'm like this. Hey, if twerking only is your game, yeah, well, do it to the best of your ability. But I'm just saying, it's like, if that's all you got, then I'm sure you have more than that. But even if you start off with that, get into something else, ladies.
Right.
I just feel like there are some ladies out here that, I know that they have a body, but I know they have a sharp mind too. So with whatever they want to do, the ladies and or gentlemen, whatever they're doing, you can get momentum by going online and talking about what you do, or going on wonderful shows like Millionaire by Morning, and just get out there and talk about who you are, uh, what you've done, what you're getting ready to do, and what's next. And make sure you speak properly. And one of the best things you could do, be professional, be polite, and you'll be powerful in everything you do. That's it. I've preached enough.
That's right, man. Man, thank you for bringing up gratitude. The fact that you said that momentum, like
Mhm.
of gratitude, that's just really solidifying blessings that'll be
Yes.
coming your way. That's
Hmm.
the part of planting the seed, you know,
Yep.
planting the mustard seed and
Yes, sir.
doing the work and watching it grow. That's just, getting momentum.
Yes.
Um, Definitely, man. So if you were able to speak on Sherwin XL as a brand, as everything that you have to offer, what would you say if you were speaking to a company as you're describing Sherwin XL as a brand?
Well, it depends on what type of a company what's the company I'm speaking to, because there's so many areas that I can go into. I can go into, do you need a stand-up comedian or just a regular host that has, that can project and, be there? Because I've gone into political, I've gone into schools for youth. So it depends on what company. But as per me, I will say that one, I'm a host. If you need, I've worked in the modeling industry, so it depends on what the company needs. And once I can bring it from me as a brand, I will bring it. And if I don't have it, I'll go get it, and we'll work all together to work on what they need. I'm just that guy. I'm the nucleus in the middle of everything. Where I was just saying the other day, there's only one aspect in the business that I think I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, no, I've never done porn, so I don't think I'll ever do that. But but when it comes to the entertainment business on a whole, I've never done action, like karate movies or anything, which I just found out that the last B-Boy is going to do an all karate thing. So I was like really happy when I heard about that. So we're going to get into that the next episode. So I'm looking forward to that one. But any company, whether they're looking for stand-up comedy, or if they're looking for film, they're looking for a TV show, they're looking for a talk show host, I'm your one man pop up shop. It's like I don't think there's anything that I can't do for right now. I think if they need a talk show host, I can do it. If they need a radio guy, I can do it. If they need somebody on the step and repeat, I can do it. And if there's something that I can't do, I'd like to learn so I can do it. So I'm just that universal guy who I'm down to learn if I don't know, and once I know, I want to teach others to do the same. So because I can't hog everything. Because I remember Tupac saying that, that there's room for everybody to do this work. There's room for everybody. So we don't have to, hog the spotlight, so
Right.
it's an area, whatever they need me to do, I'll bring it, do it to the best of my ability. And if they need more than me, I will bring others that can sit down and do the job and get it well done, and hopefully do it again.
Righteous. That's righteous, man. Um, do you have a website? What's the best way to get in touch with Sherwin XL?
For now, I think I have one called opencomedy .com/ Sherwin XL. But anybody that wants to reach me can just go straight to Instagram, which is SHERWIN which is Instagram.com/SHERWINXL, or just go by @Sherwin XL. Or they can call me direct. I'm very open to sit down and talk. They can text me first if they like, at 347-792-9475. I'm all about I'm not really into this just only texting, and I can't all this it's nice, it's cool, but person to person, I still like this person to person stuff.
Right, right, right.
When
Got
I
you.
go to the bank, they're
Understood.
like, would you like to go to the electronic teller? No, no thank you.
Yeah.
Until the day comes that they tell me that no human beings are going to be at the tellers, then I'll probably like, damn, okay. Then I'll render and be like, whatever. But I still like that. The human being interaction is still a wonderful thing to do. You know,
Definitely.
texting
I
is,
agree with
yeah,
you.
yeah, texting is it's pretty cool to utilize, and sometimes some people misconstrue what you're trying to say, and you're like, oh no, I didn't mean it like that. So I rather just talk direct.
Yeah, that could all be avoided with a conversation.
Yep.
Um, the are you on TikTok?
Oh yeah, same thing. Sherwin XL on TikTok. I don't
Okay.
go on there that much. You know what's so funny, Rashad? I'll tell you this, man. So many people are like, oh, get your numbers up, and everything that I have gotten has nothing to do with numbers. It has to do with word of mouth and having a good name. If I didn't have a good name, I wouldn't be on your show. If I wasn't a respectful person, I wouldn't be on. Well, some people might be disrespectful and still get on your show, and you wouldn't know. But I'm a respectful person, and I'm able to be on your show. With a big blessing, from Kevin Higgins. So, shout out to
Right.
Kevin. Thank you, Kevin. So
Yep.
once again, gratitude. Thanks, Kev. So,
yeah, connections and networks.
yes.
You are
Yeah.
absolutely correct. Well, Sherwin
Yeah, man.
XL, I want to thank you for coming on my show today, man. You really turned it up a notch. I want
All
to
right.
thank you for all of your experience and your expertise and dropping jewels and gems on us this evening.
Thank you, my brother. And once again, Last B-Boy coming out 2024, this November 17th at 7 p.m. We're going to be having a private screening here in New York City and Long Island. You know, this is your boy originally from Brownsville, Brooklyn, born at Kings County Hospital, now residing in the Veldt. Been adopted by the Veldt out here where, you know, Eddie Murphy and Charlie Murphy and Howard Stern came from. And thank you for your time, my brother. And all I got to say is if anybody on this show wants to step up and do something, whether you want to be an author, actor, you want to be a doctor, whatever it is that you want to do, get up and do it. You see Rashad's doing his show, I'm on his show, and I've been interviewing folks. There's nothing you can't do. All you have to do is plan, prepare, and project it, get it done.
There it
So I got
is.
to. Yes, sir.
There it is. Thank you for blessing us tonight, Sherwin. You have a great
Thank you.
night.
Thanks for the blessing, my brother. And you have my number. Don't hesitate to call. Say what's up.
That's a definite, man. We'll do.
Yes, sir.
All right, now. Till next time.
Yes, sir. All right, Rashad.